Everyone's hyping AI and automation as the answer to all of your business problems right now. You're probably seeing it everywhere, right? It's on LinkedIn, it's on YouTube. You see these crazy automation workflows. Comment on this post and I'll DM you the templates, getting thousands and thousands of reposts and retweets. It's catching a lot of eyeballs. So it's really easy to get caught up in that hype, but just hold on 1 second, because if you do not solve this one problem first, you are going to faceplant hard the more and more of these things that you start to bolt onto your business. If you, like most businesses that I've worked with over the last decade, I've worked with over 100 businesses on CRM, automation, and now AI and automation. Most businesses have their data siloed across multiple different tools. And in this new world of AI and automation and getting the most out of AI, that causes a lot of problems, because you're essentially going to have to build multiple bridges between multiple tools with a bunch of automated workflows, and you get yourself into a spaghetti mess real quick. So in today's video, if you are a small to medium-sized business, I'm going to show you like the key thing that you need to get control of first, which is your business data and how to think about that so that you can actually layer on AI and automation in a way that makes sense. Thinking about your business in this way that I'm going to talk to you about today is going to save you thousands and countless hours, months, probably even years of unpicking and unwinding things that you might do otherwise. So if you care about leveraging AI and automation in a sustainable way that's actually going to be beneficial for your business, we're going to jump into that today. But do like and subscribe for more of that type of content, because we've got a lot coming.
All right, guys, so I just want to dive into the problem a little bit more and sort of show you exactly what I mean here when I'm talking about your business data. So like most businesses, small to medium-sized businesses, you're probably using a bunch of different software tools. And this might be some of them, right? So these are the things that you're going to be using to run your company. You might have industry-specific software that's mixed in here as well, but you might be using something like HubSpot as a CRM, maybe Pipedrive. You've got Monday, Asana, ClickUp, which are like work and slash project management tools. So you've got project data in there. You got Slack, where you may be communicating with people. You got account information in Xero or QuickBooks or something similar. Then you've got like documents and actual data that are in Google Drive, Google Docs, and then you've got your AI tools and stuff like that as well, and some other tools to bridge all the gaps together. Now, the problem that I've seen year after year, I've been in this business for over a decade now, building out custom CRM solutions and automations and now AI automations and workflows as well. The problem with a bunch of this stuff is that you end up like this, right? With your business data. Your business data is scattered out across all these different tools. So if you think about the types of data your business has, you have customer information, just to give a couple of examples. And your customer information is typically going to live in your CRM. So that might be Pipedrive or HubSpot or something similar, maybe close.com, depending on the type of business that you are. Maybe you've got an industry-specific CRM as well. That's also a possibility. So you've got your customer data there. Then you have the service that you provide usually needs some management, right? Some organization. So you have a project management tool usually as well. And that might be ClickUp, it might be Monday, it might be Asana. Used all of them, have a love-hate relationship with all of them typically. And, you might connect other tools into those ones like Jotform or Typeform to collect information about projects from your customers and put them into the project management tools. Then again, you've got tools that you'll use to deliver your service, things like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Notion, however you deliver what it is that you do. A bunch of other tools probably as well. Again, you've got more siloed data there. And then you've got your AI tools. The big problem that you've got here is that all of your business data, your critical business data that is unique to your business and makes your business what it is scattered across all these different tools. You've got all this data everywhere. And in this day and age where you're trying to make use of AI, you're trying to make sense of automation workflows, leveraging AI to actually help you build and scale a more sustainable business, having this data all over the show is really, really problematic, because you essentially have to build multiple bridges between all these different tools to execute specific workflows in individual tools as well. And what you end up with is something that looks kind of like this, right? You've got an absolute spaghetti mess of tools that are kind of cobbled together with make.com and Zapier workflows. And these workflows, they kind of look really cool, right? I mean, just visually, it's kind of like, oh, this is interesting. This automation workflow can can really help me out. And don't get me wrong, they are super powerful. I'm not knocking these tools in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not knocking workflows that look like this that are more complex. These things do some really valuable things for businesses. But the thing that I see time and time again with small to medium-sized businesses, and the thing that makes this more difficult for them to manage, is the fact that their data is siloed and they end up layering on a bunch of these things on top of each other, and it just becomes an absolute mess, right? And you end up in a situation where you're doing a double face palm because one face palm just doesn't cut it, as it says down here. So a couple of the issues I just want to go over. And these are things that you only kind of learn through experience and by adding a lot of these automations on and tagging them onto business processes. Now, this isn't exact maths, but I just wanted to get the point across here that with every automation that you add on, you are making your business more complex. And especially when you have these kind of one-way processes that process data from one system into another in multiple different ways, when you start layering those on, some of them have dependencies on other automations. So adding one new automation can make your business twice as complex in the long run, right? So I just wanted to get that point across, because the more of these automations that you layer on, and if they're not done in a way that makes sense for the business, you can end up just drowning in bug fixes, error handling. You have to document and maintain all of these processes so that somebody in the future can pick it up and understand how it's going to work. And that's a problem because the technology changes all the time, right? It's always consistently improving. New AI models come out. We want to test things, change things. And again, I'm not knocking any of this stuff. This stuff is super, super powerful. But if you don't have a good grasp on your business data and you have it all over the place, this stuff can just get out of control super, super quickly. So I just wanted to bring that to the forefront because it is something I've seen with businesses time and time again. I remember I was working with an accounting practice a little while back, and they had a really, really good business model where they had customers that would sign up for their program. They would teach them on how to become better accountants, how to run better businesses. When they signed up, they would get access to the program and a bunch of other resources as well. And at the time, none of the AI stuff was around, and we were adding on automations to the point where it just became unusable for them, because every time that they needed to figure out how to change something, it would take 3 days to try and unpick and figure out what the thing is that needs changing, because it's tangled up within about 10, 15 different automations. So just want to be really careful about what we're doing here. Now, if you think about this, what we really want is if we've got our data siloed in multiple different places, we really want to understand what is our business critical information, what is our business critical data. Because just being honest, you can't remove the need for multiple tools to run a business. In an ideal situation, you'd be able to have this all-in-one Lord of the Rings style, one ring to rule them all or one tool to rule them all system. It just doesn't work like that, unfortunately. There are many tools that will try and be an all-in-one and do a lot of stuff really well, but you're never going to replace absolutely everything. That being said, we really want to understand our critical business data so that we can make use of it in this new AI and automation focused world, right? So that we can scale our business in a more effective way. So think about it this way. Within your business, you've probably got, I mentioned before, these types of data, your CRM information, so customer data, lead data, you got project data, you got process data in regards to like SOPs. How do you actually deliver your projects for your customers? Then you've got payment information, service information, so support tickets, stuff like that. And then you've got team data, so like internal meetings. You might also have external meetings with clients. So there's a bunch of data around your business. And if that's all in one place, or as much of that as possible is in one place, getting the actual value out of AI workflows and automation is going to become 10 times easier because we have all of our data in a central hub. Now, there's things that we can do with that, right? With AI, like we might be able to get the AI to analyze the data, but not just a little bit of data. We can query it based off of multiple pieces of information. So show me customers that have paid X amount. We can't do that if we've got customer information in one tool, but then we've got payment data in another tool. You get the idea. So having everything all in one place is really, really helpful. I like to use Airtable. I mean, one of the things that you'll see here is with all the automation videos that people keep putting out, Airtable is kind of always like the back-end tool that everybody uses to process the data, because with any automation, any of this like hype agents and stuff like that you're seeing everywhere on LinkedIn and YouTube at the minute, there needs to be a place that we store the data.
And there is inputs and then there is outputs. So the data comes in, it gets processed by the workflow, and then it gets output. And we need to store that output of information somewhere. And we need to take the inputs from somewhere as well. And most people tend to use Airtable. And there's a reason for that. It's because it's really, really, really well connected to all of the different automation tools that you might use, like make.com or Zapier or something like that. And it's also super user friendly. It kind of straddles that line between being like a spreadsheet and a database, but adds like a friendly user interface on top of it that anybody can kind of understand, which is really, really cool. So my tool of choice for something like an all-in-one would be Airtable. And I just want to make the case of solving this problem by using a tool like Airtable. You can use different tools, whatever you want, but having a tool that's flexible and customizable like Airtable, this is going to be the unlock to grow your business in a meaningful way that doesn't get out of hand and is not unsustainable, is not too hard to manage. So as I've mentioned, I would think about breaking your business down into its kind of core functions. And this is a project that I'm working on right now. So if this is of interest to you, do subscribe, follow the channel, because I've got more videos coming on this. I'll give you a sneak peek in a second of what I'm working on. But in Airtable, for example, you could build your CRM inside of it. You could build the CRM that is also then connected to your projects. So you could have your customer data connected to your project data, and you can have a full projects module that houses all of the data in regards to the projects and services that you're offering. Then you could have a service hub in there. So, tickets and support requests that come in from customers. You can have accounting information in there as well. Lead information as well if you wanted to do some sort of outbound campaigns and run all that through here. Now, I'm not saying that Airtable removes the need for other tools, but what I am saying is that Airtable is the central hub where we house all of our business critical information so that we can then process it and get the most out of these tools, as I just mentioned. So again, this doesn't remove the need for other tools completely, though it will remove a big chunk of those tools. So you'll be able to save a lot of money on subscription costs by just moving over to something like Airtable or a different all-in-one tool. And it avoids all of this spaghetti mess because we're essentially just processing the data in and out of Airtable, and we're attaching things to each one of these individual hubs. And then all of the AI and automation workflows that we build are kind of attached and organized to each one of these hubs specifically. So it gets really easy to maintain over time. And we're not just building crazy AI automation systems that we've seen on LinkedIn that might provide some value. We are then linking everything that we do, all of the workflows that we build, to business functions and to modules in our business hub, our data hub here. I'll actually show you a quick sneak preview here of the CRM that I'm working on right now. Another really cool thing about Airtable is they've recently, over the last year or two, they've put a lot of energy into their let's go to the view data source here. So at the top, you've got data, which is kind of like the spreadsheet view or the data tables, should we say. But they've really put a lot of effort into these interfaces, which rather than people having to use this spreadsheet layout, which is how Airtable used to be, we can now build completely custom interfaces on the front end. I'm building a fully functional, production-ready, sort of like Pipedrive, HubSpot alternative CRM in Airtable, which is going to be the first module that I'm going to release in this project soon, so you can get your hands on that. But here's a sneak peek of what the interface looks like. You've got your contacts, your companies, you got your deals. You can have proposals in here as well, which we can then use AI workflows to help generate those proposals. Tasks that are associated with deals. And then we can also pull in all of our meetings. So if we have client meetings or internal meetings, we can transcribe them via our AI workflows, and we can do summaries and sentiment analysis, and we can pull all of that into this meetings section. So that's something I'm working on, and I will release probably a pretty long video on how to build this all from scratch. So do subscribe if that's something that you're interested in. But if we come back over to data, you can see this is what I'm talking about here, is having all of your business critical information laid out in a spreadsheet / database style format that you can access all in one place. If you think about this CRM function, next we'll then build like this projects function out, and that might be a separate database from this one. But the cool thing here is that we can actually take all of these individual systems that we build out in Airtable, and because all of the data lives in one place, which is Airtable, even if they're in different systems, we can actually link all of these together into a master system. So we can actually link all of these into a
business operating system at the top where you can run all of your reports, right? So you can pull in the data from everything into this one system, and this one system at the top could be your business dashboard that pulls from all of these other areas. You can't get that, you can't build that if you are in this situation over here where you've just got multiple different tools and the data is everywhere, right? So that's what we're trying to get away from. We're trying to get to a more cohesive, can't get my words out today, a more cohesive business system that we can build functions around, and then we can layer on AI and automation, but actually connect it to real business systems, not just ethereal hype automations that you see on social media and then end up with a spaghetti mess like this. So that's about it for this video, guys. Apologies if that was a bit long, but I just wanted to go through this because I think this is I can see that this is the biggest problem that most small to medium businesses are having right now. I see it across my network. I see it across LinkedIn. Everybody's getting hyped up by all of the automation examples, and they are cool and they are valuable. Don't get me wrong. But if you've got an established small to medium sized business, I can guarantee you that this is a bigger problem for you right now than building out, a new AI agent that is going to be your personal assistant, but you have to spend 3 hours a week bug fixing because it doesn't quite pull that document from Google Docs that you wanted it to. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, do leave me a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that this is a big problem? Is this a problem for you? If not, I'm also interested, but this is what I'm seeing right now, and I wanted to pass on that to you guys and let you know, hey, if you want to get value out of this for your business moving forward, this is the model that I suggest you start thinking about. All right, I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye.